Would you go down the road with me? And the long, long way I see. Oh, when I rise in the morning, I'm going. Would you go down the road with me? And the long, long way I see. Oh, when I rise in the morning, I'm going. Would you go down, 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 down on the road? Oh yeah. Would you go down, 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 down on the road? Would you go down, 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 down on the road? Oh yeah. Would you go down, 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 whoa, on the road?
Bags for Baggin. It was Monday morning. Harry heard Mum getting up at 4:30 for a quick bite, then off to a shift at 5:30 this time of year. Liners don't waste the light. Waking himself with a stomach like the milk being churned yesterday. This is it, was the first thought that entered, slightly unnerving. It was cold as usual. He felt himself shivering, involuntarily. Still, no matter. Up, old stuff, loose shirt, the loosest of his trousers, boots on. Down the stairs, clump, 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 clump. Jane all ready with a brew on. Thank God. Hands round his mug. Full now, but one thing he would be taking with him to be his at Sterling's. That was good. It settled his nerves. He was one, never much for talking first thing. Jane got merely a grateful nod in thanks for the tea. It took time to get himself going. About 5:15 now. Right. In the cone he'd be. Cone 1, pot number 1 at 6:30. Come on. Get this down you. Porridge. Nice, thick, creamy farm milk and lots of honey. Just how he liked it when he could get it. God, nothing like milk from farm, is there? He finally said to her. You're right there. Oh, I do miss it most days, but especially for a long while when I came away and first went to work in Lancashire. Whew, I bet you did. Now he was hungry. Down it went easy as now. I'm not sure how much time I've got, he said. Don't you worry. Sal takes 15 minutes, and your stride's got to be longer than hers. But I wouldn't push it on your first day if I were you. She looked up at the clock, concentrating in her head, and swiftly made a mental decision. Well, leave at 6:10. He looked at the small clock on the mantel, there as long as he could remember. Quite a nice clock. Could be worth a good few shilling if it were pawned, but it never was. It had been his grandad Joshua Gaskell's and his dad's. Precious. They would pawn the sheets before that went. Thankfully, things had never come to that either. Although he did remember a time when his mother had been ill one winter that things got really bad. Having gone to the parish for a few shilling, they were only saved by the generosity of some of the Glass families. He didn't know who. He'd been too small. Yet all that was remembered. Always. Sometimes they helped other families as much as they could. What's a few bowls of soup or stew? Or a pie, Jane would say. That's the way it was. It was now 6:15. Enough time for another brew and some thick toasted bread. Jane was already at the range with the toasting fork. Smashing. He loved toast. He looked in the teapot. Not enough, and now so strong you could stand your spoon in that. He poured it away in the side bucket for slops. He picked up the permanently hot kettle from the plate on the side of the range, a big cloth round his hand. Still, his fingers were hot by the time he'd refilled and put the kettle back. He sharply breathed in and shook his right hand. Just a small tingle in the tips of his fingers. Oh, all right, though. Mind how you go. I'd have done that. You're right. Yeah, I'm fine. Oh, this was new. She hadn't shouted at him. He popped an additional spoon of tea in the pot and knew well enough to leave it a minute or two. After that he stirred and asked, "Would you like a cup, Jane?" "Oh, bloomin' heck! You making a cup of tea for me? Wherever next?" She teased him. They both laughed. He did it almost every morning. Only today she had not scolded him for picking up the kettle. Things were changing. He liked this. He drank his tea, and a happy glow spread throughout, and it was not just caused by his porridge. Oh, now toast as well. New butter the girls had churned. Lovely. When he had finished, he stood and shook out the mug with any dregs to the fire. He could wash it proper at the Sterling's pump, and he got his tatty jacket from the peg. Jane rose and came to where he was now standing. Jacket on, waiting to go. She went slightly on tiptoe, pulling his collar into shape. Harry was well outstripping her already. Pecked him on one side of his face. "That's from your mum." A peck on the other side. "And that's from the other one," she said. It was indeed almost like he had two mums. She continued pulling at his collar. "Now, keep your nose clean and mind how you go." Harry was getting used to this from all and sundry by now. I will, batting her away. "No, but it's your first day. Make sure you drink plenty. Oh, and go out for a pee when you need it. Otherwise, I've heard your head can get all funny and such like. And do eat what I've put together for you. Being empty won't help. But don't eat it all at once. That can make you unwell, feel faint in the heat, I've heard as well." "How do you know all this, then?" "Nothing. Just as, well, I went out with a young feller as was in the corn when I was young. That's all." "Oh," said Harry, surprised. In fact, too surprised to say aught else. Jane had never spoken about herself in that kind of way before. "Come on, time's getting on," she said, having turned quickly away. He thought to hide her blush as much as anything else. She picked up his baggin, his food for the day in paper, and a bag that went over the shoulder. She looked at it before she gave it to him. He had the feeling it was his dad's, but he didn't really want to ask. Partly because it might be, and partly because it might not. It had the initials H.A. embroidered inside, so it probably wasn't. Anyway, with these thoughts in mind, he steadied himself, ready to go, breathed in deep and slow, then out again in a rush. Come on, lad, you'll be all right. You're born and bred to it. It's those as not who aren't cut out for it. But be careful. Do be careful, Harry. And she looked at him, strangely worried for a moment. He nodded a little, and there was nothing more to say. The time was creeping on. He went out and started down the street. Every other house or so had someone else making their way down to one of the glassworks. After several steps, he looked back. There was Jane on the doorstep. Soon she would be waking the girls. He thought of his Bobbin, little Charlie. Jane, still standing there, nodded to him with a small smile. He responded likewise and went off on his way.
Would you go down the road I seek? Yes, follow the way I see you. Would you go down to the corns in the morning? Or would you go down with me? Down the long, long road I see. Would you go down to the corns in the morning? Or would you go down, down, down to the corns with me? Or would you go down with me in the morning? Or would you go down with me and follow the way I seek? Would you go down with me in the morning? Or would you go down, down, down to the corns with me? Or would you go down with me in the morning? Would you go down, down with me? Yes, follow the way I seek. Would you go down to the corns in the morning? Or would you go down, down, down to the corns with me? Or would you go down with me in the morning? Would you go down, down with me? Yes, follow the way I seek. Would you go down with me in the morning? Would you go down, 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 down to the corns with me? Would you go down, down, down to the corns? Or would you go to the corns? For you know it's the way I seek. Would you go down to the corns in the morning?